If you sweat faster than it can wick moisture away, I kind of think of it like a plastic bag. It just kind of traps the moisture onto your skin. What's going on, everyone? I am Matt. Welcome back to Scent Theory. This might be one of the most intensive videos I ever make, so let's get to it. Let's talk about base layers, fabrics, and how they perform under different circumstances. There's no way I'm going to hit all the points, but I'm going to do my best here, and I'm going to share what works for me, what keeps me comfortable when I'm out motorcycling all day, what keeps me comfortable when I'm out snowboarding all day, what works. I have very sensitive skin too, so it's been a battle. I'm gonna have to go off some of my notes here. There's a lot of information. So let's start with polyester. Polyester is basically woven plastic. So it does wick moisture to an extent. I cannot wear it anymore. I've tried different brands. I've tried the Climb Aggressor. I've tried this brand here, which is the Travis Rice one. And this one is okay, actually. This is an older one because, again, I don't really wear them anymore. They're very durable, they last a long time. Again, they wick moisture, they do insulate fairly well. Polyester is a decent fabric when it comes to performance, but there are some major drawbacks. One, it is basically plastic, so it doesn't biodegrade. It sheds microplastics as it breaks down. And if you sweat faster than it can wick moisture away, I kind of think of it like a plastic bag. It just kind of traps the moisture onto your skin. It can cause acne. In my case, if I'm in it all day long, I actually develop a rash. Last time I wore a polyester base layer, I got a rash all down my collarbone because, again, it just kind of can just trap moisture there. So plastic-based fabrics aren't really it for me. I've really gone away from them. They do still serve a purpose in my life, which is on the outer shells. I just don't like anything that touches my skin to be plastic based. So yeah, this I don't wear anymore, unfortunately, but it's a little nostalgic. It's the Travis Rice Art of Flight base layer, so I don't know, it's kind of silly that I keep it. Nylon is another form of plastic. It works really well as an outer shell, right? This is my Gore-Tex Volcom jacket. I wear this all the time when I'm snowboarding. Awesome, love it, don't have an issue with it. Nylon Cordura, it's also very durable and it's woven into Cordura, so a motorcycle jacket that provides protection. So I'm not gonna say plastic-based fabrics don't have a place in my life or in action sports, because they're actually very good when applied in the right way. But I just don't like having them on my skin directly. Which brings me to my next fabric. Let's talk about bamboo viscose. This is a bamboo cotton blend by Netdraw. I swear if I can find an affiliate link, I'm going to throw it in the description because these are my favorite base layers when I'm snowboarding. They're awesome. These are super soft, they're moisture wicking, they're odor resistant, kind of like wool, which we'll talk about in a moment. They are just so comfortable. This is what I wear. I actually have a bamboo shirt on right now. The only thing you gotta look for is make sure it's Ecotech certified. One of the big drawbacks is that they do use harsh chemicals to produce this fabric. So as long as it's Ecotech certified, and it's spelled Ecotech, so it's kind of, I think it's pronounced Ecotech though, but just make sure it's certified because they do use a harsh chemical process to make it. The other downside is that in hot weather, when you're really sweating, I don't feel like this is the best thing. It does kind of soak a little bit, but in cold weather, moderate weather, even up to warm, this wicks moisture. It's odor resistant, it's super soft, it's stretchy, it's comfortable. It can get bunched up in weird ways. I don't really feel it because of how stretchy it is. I feel like that, annoying like layering type effect. Bamboo is just, it's become one of my favorites. It really has. This is a bamboo cotton blend. This is a bamboo polyester. This was another one I picked up. The thumb holes weren't quite as comfortable, so I don't wear this as much as a base layer. Again, polyester is more durable, but any blend that has polyester in it doesn't break down in the environment, unfortunately. Just kind of sticks around for however long plastic takes to break down, right? So this is more durable, it's stretchy, it's still bamboo. I still wear it, I like it, but again, the thumb holes in this one just weren't quite as wide. They're kind of cutting into my thumb. So this one by Bamboo, cool. I don't wear it quite as often. Rayon. This was kind of shirt I picked up because I don't know, I just kind of like the look of it, but it's rayon. It is a cellulose-based fiber as well, so basically kind of like wood-based. This is gonna have similar properties to bamboo. It's gonna be soft, gonna be kind of stretchy, gonna be really comfortable, somewhat odor resistant, not as good at moisture control, not as durable either. So great for casual wear, but again, they do sometimes use harsh chemicals in producing it, so you just gotta be careful where you source it from. Rayon, decent fabric, but the manufacturing process can be a little bit iffy and it's not the best for action sports. Moving on to Tencel, which is also known as Lyocell. I don't have any full garments that are Lyocell, but this base layer pant did use Lyocell toward the bottom because this is a wool base layer, which wool is not that durable, so they put Lyocell in any part that could be tucking into the boot. Basically, very, very similar to bamboo. It's kind of the same cellulose-based fabric, but it's sourced from primarily eucalyptus trees. So yeah, it's soft, it's strong, breathes well, wicks moisture efficiently just like bamboo, dries a little faster than rayon, and it's a little more durable than bamboo. And again, also has natural odor resistant properties, like I said. So something like this made out of Lyocell, sometimes you can get a couple of uses out of them before they really start smelling. Some garments you almost never really have to wash. And that brings me to my next fabric, which is merino wool. This is probably one of the most popular base layer fabrics now, and for a very good reason. It does have some downsides I'll talk about in just a moment, but let's talk about why it's become so popular. It is a natural fiber, so it will break down in the environment. It is eco-friendly, it is naturally insulating, it's temperature regulating, so you can still wear it in warm weather and it's not going to suffocate you. It wicks moisture away. I might have already said that, but it's true. It's naturally hydrophobic, manages moisture very, very well. Main drawbacks is that merino wool can be a little bit itchy. You can condition it with hair conditioner, just like you use on your head. I recommend more natural stuff. I wouldn't put harsh chemicals in it, especially how expensive this can be. So all the fabric I've talked about so far are generally not too expensive, except for like the really heavy duty ripstop and motorcycle gear. It's more because it has Gore-Tex behind it. But generally speaking, bamboo, polyester, and rayon are fairly cheap, even Lyocell. But wool is kind of expensive, and it's not the most durable. This actually has a couple small holes in it. They tend to get holes in them. The base layer I had here, day one, got a small little hole in the crotch. I don't know if it caught my zipper or what, but they get holes in them. Unfortunately, that's just how they wear. It doesn't mean the garment is compromised. It just means that they have a small hole in them. So yeah, this is great for insulation. On the cold days, I will typically wear my bamboo and then my merino wool layer that I have in my hand here, and then also a wool neck gaiter and a wool balaclava. I also have this hat I wear in the wintertime because, again, it's 15% wool or something like that. It's warm. It works really, really well. Wool is an incredibly awesome natural fabric. While I was editing this, I also realized this would be a really good time to mention that I have completely gone to wool socks for my everyday use. In the summertime, I get something thinner. This is a brand called Farm to Feet. It's a little bit thinner. It's a wool mix. It's very comfortable. And they don't smell as bad as polyester, and they don't soak like cotton. So they're just really comfortable. And in the wintertime, I use something a little bit thicker or a little bit higher up the calf if I'm riding, so I don't get that affected like the snowboard boots or the motorcycle boots like chafing against my calves. But yeah, I've pretty much exclusively gone with all wool socks. I, again, just have sensitive skin, so I struggle with wearing it directly on my skin unless it's in like small doses like this neck gaiter. Wearing it in all over, like if I just wore this by itself, but if it comes to a survival situation where like you really need to stay warm, wool retains most of its insulation properties even when it's wet, and that's also why it's so awesome. Yeah, wool is amazing, especially merino wool. But there's more than one type of wool. There's also alpaca wool. I love this. This is from a company on Etsy called Andean Alpaca. There's ads for some other brands out there, but I didn't really overpay for it. Same kind of properties. It's a little bit softer. It's definitely a little bit warmer, but it doesn't wick moisture away quite as well. So on cold days, I will put this over my bamboo instead of my merino wool, and it tends to keep me a little bit warmer. This is not really something you need to wash. You shouldn't put these in the washer because, again, they're not very durable. They're going to get holes in them. This one hasn't gotten them yet, but I'm already mentally bracing myself because everything I've had that's been wool has gotten holes. But this does absorb a little bit more moisture, dries a little bit slower, again, less durable, still kind of pricey, but this was actually very reasonably priced. I think I paid like maybe $65 for it, and it's become something I will not go on a snowboard trip without. These are incredible. I love alpaca wool. It's great. It's not always the best when you're moving around a lot and getting super sweaty, but on those really like frigid cold days where you need it, ooh, this is hard to beat. And let's talk about the last fabric I've personally used. I don't recommend for pretty much anything active is cotton. We all know what cotton is. Breathable, lightweight, and man, does it hold sweat. It does not wick moisture away like any of these fabrics I talked about. They will just soak and make you very uncomfortable. So I don't recommend wearing cotton. In fact, Climb, the motorcycle brand, came out and said if you wear cotton socks with their Gore-Tex socks, it will not work. There is nowhere for the moisture to go. It will get trapped on your foot, and it'll feel like your $125 Gore-Tex socks aren't working. So they say that as a disclaimer. So if you're looking for waterproofing, do not wear cotton underneath. It does not allow your moisture to escape, which means that you just end up sitting in it, and it is very uncomfortable. This is also coined death fabric in deserts and survival scenarios. There's also a saying that cotton kills. It's because it doesn't have a lot of performance properties. It's great for every day, soft to your skin, but there's also drawbacks there too. Most cotton is heavily using pesticides to produce it. So unless you get organic cotton, you're probably being exposed to who knows what, and it's not always ideal. I look for organic cotton, or I wash it several times to try to get all the chemicals out. So yeah, cotton, wouldn't recommend using it in any action sports. But bamboo, wool, amazing. Hemp, I don't have any hemp here, unfortunately, but from what I hear, it's extremely durable, gets softer as you wear it. It does wick moisture away decently well. It dries pretty fast. It is odor resistant, and apparently it's fantastic for cool to warm environments. So one day, maybe I'll get some hemp, check it out for everyday wear, or maybe go on some hikes with it or something. But as of now, I don't own any hemp. I would like to try it. But yeah, that's pretty much all the fabrics I can think of. If it's pure organic matter, not necessarily organic material, but organic matter like wool or cotton or bamboo or like rayon from, just from trees, if any of those ones that aren't plastic are basically pretty eco-friendly, especially Lyocell, because I believe that's a closed loop manufacturing process, so they don't even use as many harsh chemicals as you would find in manufacturing of like bamboo. But any of those that don't have plastic are going to break down. Anything that does have plastic, so again, going back to polyester, nylon, ripstop, Cordura, whatever you want to name it, all these different ones, those take forever to break down in landfills. They are not friendly for the environment. So I try to balance the two. Unfortunately, polyester is still the most durable, so I do end up with some blends, but it's a trade-off. I understand that there's also an impact there, and there's no way around it. I wish we wouldn't have such a saturated market of like petroleum-based products, but we do. And I wish it wasn't the most durable and it hadn't have a place, but it does, and it will continue to have a place. So anything with a blend in it is not going to break down either. So even if it's like 50% polyester. The other half's not going to break down because it's all woven into it. So it's a big problem, but I hope this at least helps with layering and making you comfortable when you go out on the mountain or when you're motorcycling or whatever general activities you like to do outside that might work up some sweat in various environments. So once again, thank you for watching. This is Scent Theory. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. And as usual, if you have any comments, please leave them below. I'll be sure to answer them to the best of my abilities, and I will see you on the next video.